The Lexus LFA and the Nissan GT-R Nismo are two names that instantly ignite debates in the car world. One is a meticulously crafted symphony on wheels, the other is a relentless track warrior born to destroy lap times. From the very first rev, the LFA feels like a piece of art that moves, while the GT-R Nismo feels like a technological predator always hunting for the next victim. And yet, when you put them side by side, a bigger question starts to emerge. Which one truly stands the test of time? One of these machines will make you fall in love instantly, pulling you into an emotional whirlwind. The other will make you question everything you thought you knew about performance cars. By the end, you'll have your answer, but it might not be the one you expect. The Lexus LFA was born out of a dream that took almost a decade to perfect. Lexus had never made a car like this before. It was built not just to compete with supercars, but to redefine how one could feel behind the wheel. The naturally aspirated 4.8-liter V10 wasn't just an engine, it was an instrument, developed with Yamaha to produce one of the most intoxicating sounds in automotive history. Only 500 were ever made, turning each into a rolling piece of rare art. It wasn't the fastest car on paper, but the experience, oh, that was the magic. On the other side, Nissan had been perfecting the GT-R lineage for decades. By the time the Nismo variant arrived, it was already a legend. The R35 GT-R had shocked the world back in 2007 by humiliating cars twice its price on the track. The Nismo version took that to another level, more power, sharper handling, and aggressive aerodynamics that screamed purpose. It was a track-bred monster that didn't care about elegance, it cared about speed and domination. Pop culture immortalized both cars in different ways. The LFA appeared in video games and was praised by critics for its sound and rarity. The GT-R became a hero of street racing movies and online car culture, known as Godzilla for its ferocity. And yet, they're often compared because they represent two extremes of the same dream, Japanese engineering pushed to the absolute limit. Under the hood, the differences are like night and day. The LFA's 4.8-liter naturally aspirated V10 makes 552 horsepower and revs to a screaming 9,000 RPM. It delivers power with a precision and smoothness that few engines can match, with no turbos to mute the raw sound. The GT-R Nismo uses a 3.8-liter twin-turbo V6 producing 600 horsepower and a tidal wave of torque. It launches with brutal efficiency thanks to its all-wheel drive system, hitting 0 to 100 km per hour in under 3 seconds. The LFA, while slightly slower on paper, offers a level of throttle response and emotional connection that statistics can't measure. On the track, the GT-R Nismo is a weapon. Its suspension, tuned for maximum grip, lets you carry insane speeds through corners. The braking is ferocious, and the acceleration out of turns feels almost unnatural, like the laws of physics are being bent. The LFA, meanwhile, dances. It's lighter, more balanced, and communicates every detail through the steering wheel and chassis. It's less about brute force and more about pure connection. In the real world, the GT-R feels planted and confident, even on less-than-perfect roads. The LFA, while comfortable for a supercar, is more delicate, it's a car you savor rather than push hard on every commute. Step inside the LFA, and you're met with a cabin that blends Japanese craftsmanship with futuristic design. Every surface feels intentional. The seats wrap around you perfectly, and the digital tachometer is a reminder that this is no ordinary Lexus. Noise insulation is good, but you'll still hear that glorious V10 in all its glory. The GT-R Nismo's interior is functional and race-focused. Carbon fiber panels, firm Recaro seats, and a clear emphasis on performance over plushness define the experience. The infotainment system is older by modern standards, but it delivers all the telemetry a driver could want. For everyday use, the GT-R is surprisingly practical, it has rear seats and a usable trunk. The LFA, in contrast, sacrifices practicality for purity. Because no matter how fast you go, you still need a place to put the groceries, and the GT-R wins that battle. Value for money is where these two really diverge. When new, the LFA's price was well over $350,000, and today they trade for even more. The GT-R Nismo, while expensive, is still a fraction of that cost and delivers staggering performance for the money. Fuel economy isn't the main concern for either, but the GT-R is thirstier when driven hard. Maintenance for the LFA can be costly due to rarity of parts, while the GT-R benefits from more widely available components, though high-performance upkeep is never cheap. In terms of reliability, both are strong, but the GT-R is easier to own long-term without worrying about collector value every time you take it out. The emotional appeal of the LFA is unmatched. It's the kind of car that makes you take the long way home, just to hear that engine sing one more time. It's about elegance, passion, and the artistry of driving. The GT-R Nismo is about adrenaline, precision, and the thrill of chasing lap records. If the LFA is a romantic dinner in a city rooftop restaurant, the GT-R Nismo is a night at the racetrack with the smell of burning rubber in the air. They attract different kinds of drivers. The LFA owner is someone who values the rare and refined, someone who wants to make a statement without shouting. The GT-R Nismo driver is someone who wants to win, whether it's a time attack, a drag race, or just a traffic light showdown. When looking ahead, the LFA's future as a collectible is already cemented. Its rarity, engineering, and reputation mean its value will likely only rise. The GT-R Nismo is still in production, but earlier models are starting to gain collector interest, especially as the R35 era comes to a close. Upcoming changes in the industry, electric power, autonomous driving, mean cars like these will become even more treasured. They represent the last of a generation of pure, unfiltered driving machines. If you're looking for the best for racing, the GT-R Nismo is your pick. If you want the best for daily driving and occasional thrills, the GT-R still makes sense for its usability. But for investment, the LFA stands alone. In the end, both are legends, but in different languages. One speaks in the poetry of revs and harmony. The other speaks in the raw dialect of speed and dominance. Now the only question is, which set of keys would you pick up?